Hey, I'm Rob Gant. This is Roger Lee. We are talking about the Football Talk Game of the Week on Friday night, and it is going to be a good one for sure. It's hard to really pick a winner. Stratford loads up the buses. They head on over to Cane Bay High School. It's a huge Region 7 5A matchup. The winner is probably in a good spot. It can feel comfortable about possibly making the playoffs. The loser has a lot of work to do in the final 2 weeks of the season. Stratford, Cane Bay. I know you probably know. Look, you went to Stratford. I know you still follow the Knights. You've been wearing red today. So, what do you think about Stratford? The Knights coming off a 15-7 loss to Wando. Tell us what you know about Stratford.
Well, I know Stratford's looked impressive this season.
Better, for sure.
They ended up losing to Summerville, which was a game I saw them play, but it was a tight game, and I was impressed by the Knights. The thing that I think is going to win this game at Cane Bay for them, I think it's going to be this Stratford defense. I think they're just a better all-around defense than Cane Bay has right now. I know Cane Bay has they're kind of a tricky team to stop, but I look for that Stratford defense to be able to do it. Stratford's quarterback knows what he's doing. They've got some weapons. So I think, while it's going to be a tight game, and you almost want to give the edge to Cane Bay because it's at home, I'm going to go with the Knights. I think they're just a good team. They've got a lot to play for. I think they've lost some games they feel like they should have won, and I think they're geared up and just ready to go.
Well, the thing here with Stratford, I saw them Friday night, is Stratford moved the ball effectively between the 30s at times, but they struggled with turnovers. And in a very even matchup with Wando, those 3 turnovers that they had doomed them in the end. They ended up falling 15-7. The only touchdown there for Stratford was a 35-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Josh Davis to Javion Taylor. And they were moving the ball a couple other times, and they just shot themselves in the foot. And, they didn't, I guess, really and truly, they probably didn't execute as well as they needed to. And that's the key here this week against Cane Bay. I think Stratford has an opportunity to have a big game offensively, but you can't have turnovers, you can't have fumbles, can't have interceptions, can't have penalties, and you got to make sure you make the plays when they're available, because I think, Stratford does have a pretty good offense, and, this is really a huge game because the winner, like I said earlier, you gets an opportunity. You should feel pretty good about their chances to make the playoffs. The loser, this could be tough. Cane Bay does present a challenge. The Cobras are coming off a nice win. They beat James Island 27-24. Jackson Presley booted a field goal from 22 yards out in the closing seconds. So Cane Bay's feeling pretty good about itself. Because I think a week prior, Goose Creek put it on them. So for them, I think Cane Bay's feeling better mentally about itself. And then also, I want to mention in that Cane Bay game against James Island, Alex Mart, he had 131 yards rushing. He had a touchdown. The other touchdown pass offensively was quarterback Mackay Francis to a touchdown pass to Robbie Pruitt. Also, the Cobras defense got into the act against James Island. Devin London grabbed a pass out of the air, and he went back 35 yards for a touchdown. So, that's kind of sets the stage for this Stratford game. Cane Bay probably feels pretty good about itself. It was a game they needed to win to stay in the playoff chase. They did it. This game is at Cane Bay. It's a tough one to pick, because you can see a situation where Cane Bay just puts it all together and has a great game offensively, and that triple option, they can get to rolling on people, and next thing you know, they're having a big night offensively. And Stratford, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know if Stratford's had to play an option team this year. Well, I guess Timberland's a little bit of an option, a run-heavy team. So I don't know if Stratford's had to deal with that this year. It definitely could be a test for that Stratford defense, though. I was pretty impressed with what I saw against Wando. They limited Wando to 15 points. Maybe a couple of breaks. Stratford and that get some breaks in that Wando game. They could have won that game. One defensive name I want to mention for Stratford, because he's a young man named Ja'Kai Robinson. He had 2 interceptions in that Wando game. So the moment of truth has arrived. You said you took Stratford.
Yep.
Is that your final answer?
That is, and I would add that I think you just hit it. Turnovers. Who can protect the ball in this game? So, but I'm going with the Knights.
Man, I really like both of these coaches and both of these teams, and I got to pick against somebody. Got to go with the Knights, man. We're going to double up and go with the Knights. I wouldn't be shocked if Cane Bay won, but Stratford's playing to get into. Well, so is Cane Bay, but I mean.
I'll tell you, the Knights do not want to get behind by a couple of touchdowns in this game, because if they do, they're going to have to play phenomenal to come back.
Well, like I said, I'm taking the Knights. I think quarterback Josh Davis will have a pretty good game. I think a couple of those skill guys, Javion Taylor, Jaden Austin, and Demarius Anderson, I think they'll be the difference. I've seen Cane Bay's defense didn't have a great night against some teams with some weaponry, and I think Stratford will be able to get it done. I'm gonna pick a 28-20 type of game. You got a score on yours?
Let's go 21-14 Knights.
21-14 Knights. All right, well, there you heard it, man. Stratford's going to win 28-20.